Hello, my dear learners. Welcome to the world of exploration. Welcome to the world of learning. Let's start exploring. Let's start learning. This is Sukriti Joshi, and let's continue where we left off. Alright, so when we talk about survival, and survival in Simapuri means rat picking. So whenever we are talking about survival, whenever we are discussing about survival in Simapuri, which is the name of the place that is located on the periphery of Delhi, right? So Simapuri, but yet it is miles away from it. That means it is miles away from being a developed or metropolitan city, right? So survival in Simapuri means rat picking. Through the years, it has acquired the proportions of fine art. Garbage to them is gold. So garbage, what is there for them? What holds the value of gold is garbage. So obviously they are rat pickers, so garbage for them is equivalent to gold, right? So garbage to them is gold. It is their daily bread. A roof, it is their daily bread, right? It's their daily food, right? A roof over their heads, it acts as a kind of a roof, giving them a roof over their heads, right? Even if it is a leaking roof, but for a child it is even more. So even although it's a leaking roof, it might be a leaking roof, it's not a proper roof that has been constructed, but for a child it is even more. I sometimes find a rupee, even a 10 rupee note. So I sometimes find a rupee or maybe even 10 rupee note. Sahib says. Who says? Sahib is the one who is saying the statement. Eyes lighting up. When you can find a silver coin in a heap of garbage, we don't stop scrounging, for there is hope in finding more, right? So when you find a silver coin in the heap of garbage, you don't stop looking, you don't stop searching, right? Scrounging means searching. It means searching, to search for something, right? Looking for something, right? For there is hope of finding more. It seems that for children, garbage has a meaning different from that it means to their parents. So garbage holds different connotations whenever we talk about. See, for children it has a different connotation because for children it is a means of their survival. It is a means that they can play around, they can gain confidence around. For parents, it has a different connotation altogether. It has a different meaning altogether because they are they know what they're doing. They know that they're rat pickers. They know their life, how the life is, and what the lives of the children would be like. So for adults it's a different thing. For adults it holds a different position, and for children it holds a different position, right? The same thing, right? That is garbage. One winter morning, I see Sahib standing by the fenced gate of the neighborhood club, watching two young men dressed in white playing tennis. I like the game, he hums, content to which it's standing behind the fence. I go. I'll just change the page number 4. Inside, when no one is around, he admits the gatekeeper lets me use the swing. Sahib too is wearing tennis shoes that look strange over his discolored shirt and shorts. Now Sahib is also wearing wearing tennis shoes, but they look odd, they look strange over his discolored shirt. That means his shirt is also discolored. It's not of one color. Right now, like for instance, I'm wearing a top which is pink in color. It's not multicolored, or it's not discolored. It's not faded, right? But we are talking about the discolored shirt over here, the discolored shirt and shorts. Someone gave them to me, he says, in the manner of an explanation. So someone gave it to me. So sometimes uh, when you might have seen, you might have encountered that when you ask someone that uh, this is either looking nice or this is either not looking nice, so people tend to respond that this has been given to me by someone. So he says in the manner of an explanation, this is a kind of an explanation that he gives. The fact that they are discarded shoes of some rich boy, the fact that they are some discarded shoes of some rich boy who perhaps refused to wear them because of a hole in one of them, which obviously does not bother him, because for him shoes are very important. For him, that hole, that little tiny hole, does not matter. But for the rich people, for the rich uh, children, that hole makes a huge difference. But for him, having or owning a pair of shoes means a lot. Like, seriously, a lot. Right? So the fact that they are discarded shoes of some rich boy who perhaps refused to wear them because of a hole in one of them does not bother him. For one who has walked barefoot, even shoes with a hole is a dream come true, because he has seen that life wherein he has walked barefoot. He did not possess shoes. Now that he possesses shoes, although there's a hole in it, it's like a dream come true, right? It's like we get a Mercedes or BMW that we have been, oh, wanting to have, although it might be second hand or used. So not BMW, or like suppose Jaguar, it's like that, right? Alright, I just gave this instance in order to make you people related to text. Yeah. Alright, so for one who has walked barefoot, even shoes with a hole is a dream come true. But the game he's watching so intently is out of his reach. But the game that he's watching, that he's basically seeing, is out of his reach. Totally out of his reach. This morning, because obviously when we talk about tennis, we tend to associate tennis with rich people, right? So it is out of his reach, right? Sports, whenever we tend to talk about sports, some sports are meant for are not meant for so wealthy people, and some sports are meant for wealthy people, right? So this was one of its kind wherein it was meant for wealthy people only, right? This morning Sahib is on his way to milk booth. In his hand is a steel canister. I now work in a tea stall down the road, he says, pointing in the distance. I'm paid 800 rupees and all my meals. Right? Does he like the job? I ask. Now this is the author asking him. His face, I see, has lost the carefree look. The steel canister seems heavier than the plastic bag he would carry so lightly over his shoulder. The bag was his. The canister belongs to the man who owns the tea shop. Sahib is no longer his own master. That's the main thing. Now I'm gonna explain you this. Alright, so this morning Sahib is on his way to the milk booth. In his hand is a steel canister. Canister is always heavy, right? So it's indicating that now he possesses a kind of a burden, on his shoulder, right? Okay, then I now work in a tea stall. So now we get to see that how he has now changed, and he's now, instead of rag picking, instead of indulging himself in rag picking and being a rag picker, now he works in a steel canister. I now work sorry He now works in a tea stall, right? He says, pointing in the distance, I'm paid 800 rupees and all my meals. So he's paid 800 rupees, that you need to keep in mind, plus he's given all his meals, right? Does he? But the point being highlighted over here is that, does he like the job? Is he interested in doing this? Is he carefree in this? Is he the master in this? Or a kind of a slavish mentality has been indicated, I ask. So the author is asking him. His face, now we get to see the face of Sahib. His face, I see, has lost that carefree look which he had when he used to indulge in rag picking, when he was a rag picker. He has lost that carefree look, right? The steel canister seems heavier than the plastic bag. So the plastic bag that earlier he used to have while doing rag picking was, obviously, plastic bag is, not so heavy. But when we talk about steel canister, it is heavy. It seems heavier than the plastic bag, right? So it was heavier than the plastic bag. The canister belongs, the steel canister seems heavier than the plastic bag he would carry so lightly over his shoulder. The bag was his, the canister belongs to the man. So the bag actually was Sahib's, but the canister belongs to the man who owns the tea shop, who is the master. That means who owns the tea shop, who is the master of that tea shop. Sahib is no longer his own master. Now herein we get to the point wherein we understand that Sahib is no longer his own master. Now he is a kind of a slave. He has that slavish mentality because he's working under someone, right? So he's no longer his own master. He is no longer able to have his plastic bag and collect garbage and get up early on his own terms and conditions. Rather, he's working under someone, right? So that makes his freedom being snatched away from him, right? The second part we are going to cover in the next video. I want to drive a car. This is the second portion. This is the second part. Clear? This is Sukriti Joshi signing off. If you have any doubts and if you have any queries, please do let me know in the comment section below. But I just want to tell you one thing, guys, that please encourage, support this channel. If you can't say good words, don't say bad either. Clear? Alright, this is Sukriti Joshi signing off. Love you guys. Alright, my dear learners.